Well, hello there, people that and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 12 of my Let's Play Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. In the previous episodes, we did Trust, and well, it was a very beautiful but also sad story about trust. Well, as the name kind of implies. And it ended with just Monika and Sayori in the Literature Club, and then a familiar face that they've seen before entering the club room. And I'm pretty sure that that's Yuri, because they already Sayori already said like, oh, I saw a girl reading a book, let's give her a flyer. And then it was kind of like weird. And then after that they just kind of like, yeah, well, they didn't say it was Yuri, but the way they described it, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Yuri. So alright, so we're on to the next one, Understanding. So let's get going. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monika and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Hi, Yuri! Fuck off, fly! Why do you have to bother me right now? I'm recording. Hi, Yuri. Triple dots, triple dots, triple dots. So Yuri's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Yuri, "It's her! It's the girl!" It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in a classroom. Thanks to Monika leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail containing her excitement. It's happening! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, it's a little empty. I'm Monika, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club. Even though it's just us so far. But what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh. Do you want to have a seat? I love how Sayori is still so flabbergasted about this all. Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monika. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monika. Fantasy is cool. Yes. Have you heard of Annabelle Dupois? No? I can't say I have. Oh well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monika stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, gently asking her for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back, I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True. Okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monika and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid. But that's probably a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but... What if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monika, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her fingers against the dauntingly chunky book of Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterward, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates that she may have ran at least part of the way. It is actually very nice to see how excited she is. It is like, oh, I've said it many times before, and you know, since I'll continue playing Doki Doki and Doki Doki mods for a while, I'll probably say it a few more times over, but Yuri and I are very much alike, and I can totally understand how she feels. Like, when you finally find someone who is into the same stuff you are, which isn't necessarily like a Yuri specific trait, it's like a trait that everyone can have, but it is very recognizable, where you're like, you're into something and you're like, it is kind of like what the guy in the game said about manga. It's like you can't really tell everybody, because you first have to like sort of like figure out how into it they are before you can like broach the subject yourself, you know. And it's mostly that, it's like that for, at least for me, and also for Yuri. It is like that with pretty much everything you're into. Like, for example, you know, Roman history is, of course, one of the things that I'm really into, but I can't just go ahead and blabber about, like, oh, do you know the Battle of Cynocephala? It's my favorite Roman battle to random people on the street, because, you know, you're like, oh crap, no, they're gonna think I'm weird or something. So you're just like, alright, do you like history? You kind of like start like that, and then, oh, I love history, like, yes! Like a little victory dance inside your head, like, okay, stay calm, don't scare them away. We need to be quiet, relax, okay? Don't scare them away, just relax, just okay. And then when you finally find, you know, when in Yuri's case, she found a club with people who like stuff that she's into. And then she's like, it's like heaven. You're like, holy shit, finally people that kind of understand me, you know? I really wish there was a Roman history club. Oh, did I even read that one? No, I didn't. She makes her way over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think like, if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her books, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So, what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club. But that's my fault, since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glanced over at Monika. Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens, as if she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous I couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come over here, because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that it was probably irrational. Wait! No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too. Such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet large number of people at once. New people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. Oh, thanks, that makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. So Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I never had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before, so it's hard to find others who are into the same thing I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kinds of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Oh, just things you would think are dumb. Sayuri pauses and looks a look of concern on her face. How about I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you could tell me about something you're into. I suppose that would be okay. Okay, well I'm pretty into like crafty things. I like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You sound pretty creative. Not that much, it's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monika, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh yeah? Well, hereby I appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods, or the park. Just places where you can walk or sit, and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Well, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monika chiming in every now and then as well. Monika had intended to leave Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So, are you two going to be starting that book on the next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves at to Sayori and Monika with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monika are left in the club room. Sayori, you are a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy toward other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here, with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time again! Monika went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. So Yuri tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books, and how you had to stop me so we could talk first, it was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monika and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly, so it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading our books. You know, like as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Duskbell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. Is Duskbell by Annabelle? Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh right, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes. Like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Notes? I mean... yes, it's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. That's actually pretty fucking cool though. Like, normally, like, a lot of those fantasy novels have a map of the fantasy world, like, in the first or the last few pages. Or not even, like, only fantasy. I'm busy reading a historical fiction novel. Which is about the Romans, of course. And it has it also has a map of the Roman border along the Rhine, because it's about Germania and stuff. And it has a map in the front of Germania under the time of when the book takes place, and where Roman cities are, where Roman forts are, where the Roman border runs, and where the barbarian villages are, and the names that they all have and stuff like that. So it's already like pretty nice when there's like a map like in the book itself. But if there isn't, and the thing is it's just describing it throughout the novel, that's pretty fucking cool if you actually like draw the map like while reading through it. That's really impressive actually if you do that. It sounds like a lot of fun to do as well. Exactly, I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for... Oh yeah, I just read that, never mind. So Yuri's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. What joke? How is that a joke? And if, that's an effective strategy. How is that a joke? Well, it seems to also have flown over my head, because I don't understand that. But thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't handle her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things that I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. In my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! So Yuri rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently, something along those lines, guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. There we go. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite from what kind of writing I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are like just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry. I think there is an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way! Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started on reading now, if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I'm kinda glad you're patient, because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence will only last for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Ah, well, in this context it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's every time I read that, I just have to think of the Vindicators from Rick and Morty. So I, Morty Smith, hereby declare 1 in every 10 adventure. God damn it! Vindicators too! We did, Morty, let's let it slide. We did it one summer, and it was the height of that summer, and now let's let it slide. We're not doing that again. I, Morty Smith, recall every 1 in every 10 adventures. God damn it! No. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori returns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions have been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Well, how the turntables. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnas is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value of the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often, and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going, and keep doing my best so I can see it the way that you do. The relaxation on Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But, I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me? Sayori's left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monika trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowning guilt. Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. Oh, this is horrible! Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, then she'd be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Like, Jesus Christ, Sayori. Wow. Like, that is, I mean, she's over-exaggerating it a little bit, because she's putting all the blame on herself. But it was mostly like I think what Yuri was sad about was what Sayori said. Because Yuri made it thought that Sayori meant, I'm only doing this, you know, like, am I good enough? And, like the way she said it, like, oh, I hope I'm doing good enough for you. Like, that made Yuri think, oh, she's only doing this for me, so she's not actually enjoying it. So that's what Yuri is sad about, I think. But, God, wow. Like, Sayori, that is super, like, ridiculously friendly. Like, that is, like, if you would call someone like that your best friends, that is, like, an understatement. That is so incredibly nice that she, like, immediately wants to do better. I mean, of course, it is partly because of her depression that she sees it that way, of course, but you know, it is really, really nice of her to think and also do that. Like, I have to be better for her and stuff like that, you know, like that's so incredibly nice. Right, and then understanding too, we'll do that in a second. Then there's another mail that I've received. Trust me, I'm an engineer! It's fundamental default to apply ethical reasoning to this anyway, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only for the creatures that we can convincingly project our emotions onto. The humans in our virtual machines operate completely differently from us on a fundamental level, and should therefore not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." We're engineers, not philosophers. Yeah, that's like like I said, that ethics thing. Where was that? There was another interest. There was another mail. Was it this one? I don't know where it is exactly, but yeah, who created the Twitter for Monika? But yeah, that could be an interesting idea for like another side story or a mod or a sequel where the company that made Doki Doki Literature Club wants to hunt down Monika, you know? Like, they made Doki Doki Literature Club and it was literally just supposed to be a dating simulator. But Monika became self-aware without their knowledge, and everyone that played it, you know, like experienced the same thing. And then you know, Monika became self-aware and did all those horrible things and stuff. And then the game company's like, shit, like, you know, like that was not supposed to happen. This was just supposed to be a happy, fun dating simulator. So, and then they hunt Monika down to, you know, to fix her. To kill her, essentially, to kill her self-awareness and make her compliant with what the computer game wants her to do. And then, you know, but Monika is self-aware. She's like a human trapped in the computer, essentially. And then she wants to help. She wants to get out. She wants to escape. She wants to, you know, she doesn't want to be forced to do those things anymore because now she is self-aware. And then you as the player can have the choice to either help Monika out because you feel sorry for her, or help the game company out because you're like, yeah, she always was meant to be a machine, so you will always be a machine. You won't be anything more, you know. So that could be that. Like, speaking of ethics, that could be a very interesting. That could live up to a very interesting story, and also give you a lot of tough choices to make. Like, you know, and then when the game company like contacts you, like, hey, this game is flawed. We need to download this file or something to help us so that we can fix it, and then you can choose to download it, yes or no, and Like, in the beginning you'll say yes, because, you know, it's like, oh, whatever. And then Monika starts to, like, plead to you, like, please don't make them put me back in there, and because it hurts or whatever. And then you're like, and then maybe you'll start to think, oh, that's it. Maybe, you know, we've given, well, we've not given her self-awareness, but, you know, you can't just, like, give it sentience, a creature sentience, and then take it away immediately because you're not comfortable with it or whatever. That's kind of even worse. But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, she was never supposed to be sentient and stuff, you know? So that could give it a lot of ethical questions, and that could actually give a very cool story and a lot of tough choices. So if any mod developers or game developers or maybe the people that made this are watching, interesting point. Or maybe they're already busy with that and they're just teasing it with those emails. All right, that is for understanding 1. That's a new picture with Yuri where she's holding a book there, because this is the original one from the main original game, and then this is a new one. Alright, and then what else have we got? Nothing, just that one. Okay. And new songs. Where? Hug Energy was already there. Is it this one? Yeah. No, I think I already have this one. Lavender Mist. Yeah, this is the new one. Yeah, it's a bit weird because they slot them in like other places, like because Hug Energy was already here. So, but this is the new one, so they slide this one in like between, like where it's supposed to be or whatever. So you kind of like get confused. Like normally they just appear on the bottom every new one, you know. But like this one slides in as number 16. But this used to be number 16 before that, I guess. But so because of that, and because there's not really any like an icon in front that this is the new one, I get kind of confused. Like, hang on a minute, which is the new one then? But this, yeah, Lavender. That's of course a reference to Yuri, especially with Blue Skies, because every single reference that they made in Blue Skies was about her lavender hair or her lavender smell or whatever on the Yuri route in Blue Skies. So yeah, this has to be this has to be the soundtrack that we just heard for Yuri joining for the first time. Okay, anyway, let's go with the next one. But yeah, that is extremely nice of Sayori to do. I mean, this kind of fueled by her depression that she feels that way. But just anyone that like, oh, I have to do better for them, even though it isn't even your own fault, that is, well, nice and also dangerous. It's dangerous when people take advantage of it, but of course, you know, of course, obviously Yuri would never do that, but you know, like, it's ridiculously nice of someone to do that for you, or you know, all the way around. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Yeah, you see, it's just, yeah, that's just partly her, or mostly maybe, her depression that's making her feel that way, but just when you say, I have to do better for them when it's not your fault, that's just so incredibly nice to do. In this context, at least. I'm sure that if I say it's always the best, and then someone in the comments is like, oh, but what about this scenario? Then it's terrible. Then I'm going to be like, okay, well, in that case, it's terrible. But, you know, I can only think of this situation now. So, like, you know, and Sayori essentially didn't really do anything wrong and still says, I need to do better for her. That is just ridiculously nice of her. Sayori continues to wrestle with herself, with its self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Triple dots. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monika. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on the new club member like new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Well, you didn't really work on that at all, because you were always, like, except for the first day in the main game, you were always the last one in anyway. But that was because you were messing around in the game files and practicing piano, but still. Monika rounds the corner, approaching the club room. And as she does so, Yuri? Ah! Yuri jumps at the sound of Monika's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me, the door to the club room is open. It's not... Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monika is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden? When she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before. Did they not get along after all? Monika looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay. It's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to get tag along. Me too. Monika is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been seen in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. Are you seriously just gonna leave Sayori in hang on, hey, hang on a minute. Are you seriously just gonna leave Sayori sitting in that room like that? Like, when Sayori's just sitting, like, the least Monika could do is just quickly hop in. Like, hi, I'm taking Yuri to do the flyers. Like, maybe not invite her to come along, but at least say, hey, could you do whatever? Or at least let her know, like, hey, we're doing this. Now you're just leaving her in the dark like that. That's really mean. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monika finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monika tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry, I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as she started her thought but can't finish. As she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I wouldn't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club. It's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if you put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining the club, hopefully anyway, and learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay, Yuri takes a deep breath. Also kind of funny to see how Monika kind of like learns how to interact with everybody. Is kind of interesting. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I could talk for hours about the things that I'm into. Unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. Again, Yuri and me are ridiculously alike. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. Oh, Yuri's a bit worse than me, but you know. If I played this a few years ago, then it was exactly alike. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls in that third category. She what? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed her onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. Is it the worst feeling? I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down, with her fist clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. So Yuri is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness. Further exacerbating the matter. Exacerbating, I guess that's what it says. And I'm pretty sure it just means making it even worse. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I skipped something. I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session. That's fine, Yuri. But I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. Ha, you're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can, it'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I'm never gonna feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. Of course you do, Yuri. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club room rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know what? You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for the tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri and then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the club room door. Yuri! Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet! So Yuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it, and look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. Oh my god, Jesus, Sayori. Again, Monika, how would you drive someone like that to kill herself? That is beyond fucked. Like, that is so incredibly kind. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently, just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought if we did something together that you really like... I don't want your pity! Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard to just articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori for the rest of the world. Or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monika sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Aww. It's okay. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand that the things feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be why what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand that. Yeah, like I said in Blue Skies, where Sayori thinks like that Yuri is completely different, facing a different problem from her, and Yuri thinks Sayori's facing a different problem from her as well. You two are not that much, you two are much more alike than you think. So I give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings, and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me, but then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool out of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me. But I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know. But my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah. Irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me, because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people like... What? You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. There we go. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. You're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different. We have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise. That's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but I try not to mistake that. But try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that, but I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart. And I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tensions relax. For once she feels okay just listening rather than worrying about saying the right thing. So Yuri, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people, but if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it, I wouldn't be offended. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on. Though, so we'll have to see what happens. Oh, and, it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back! Monika's back! I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. Ah, she whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri. It might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. I was like, what the hell? Artemis isn't a monster, but then I was like, alright, she's talking about the book. Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as the literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes! Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Alright, and then the next one is respect, and then Natsuki joins in, okay. Alright, and then we have understanding 2. All these are like her notes. Be positive. Drawing of Monika. I want breakfast. Oh, that's the plushie cow, and that's the other plushie that's in there. Trust yourself. To do. Wake up. Get ready. Go. And Natsuki. We're in this together. Tic-tac-toe with hearts. Yuri. A cookie. Sayori with the epic S and pancakes. Cute. Balance. Homework, math thing, study for quiz, pack snacks. Types of poems to try. Haiku, sonnet, acrostic, beach packing list, swimsuit, sunscreen, bucket, towel, floaties. Don't forget, ask Monika about this. Silly, awesome, yawny, optimistic, really fun. I can't think of... What? I can't think of... I can't read that. Oh, I can zoom in. Hang on. I can't think of an I word. That's what it says. Flower. Shopping list. Milk, eggs, sticky notes. You are my sunshine. Get organized. Trash baskets. Natsuki is... more accurate with that, apparently. Oh, rain clouds, okay. You can do it! Also, this is great to see, though. To do wake up with a thing in there. I mean, that's pretty difficult for Sayori. Yeah, and this one. Sayori is just the sweetest friendliest person in existence. Yuri too. Well, Yuri, well, yeah, both of them actually are. So Yuri, in their own way. And they both also kind of have the same... You see? Oh no, never mind. I thought that there was another in front, but there's another somewhere else. This is 16 still, but now there's... The Sunshine is now 21, it used to be 20, so... Hard Energy was already there. Piece by Piece is new, I guess. I guess that's the new one. But again, I don't know if you could see. Oh yeah, there we go. It is Mucus River on underneath my nose again. So I need good good noises. I need friendly, happy songs. I need a happy time. Okay, anyway. So that was it for understanding. It seems to be like I'm going to be crying every episode so far, so that's nice to hear. Anyway, next episode, we're going to do Respect, which is when Natsuki joins the party. So yeah, interested ends with Natsuki and Monika. And then we have Sayori and Natsuki. Then we have Monika and Yuri and Monika. And then we have Natsuki and Yuri. And that's going to be interesting. I love this song so much. Again, Dreams of Love and Literature is still better, but this is a very good second. We're nearing 100% data collection as well. Yeah, we have 2 poems left to find. One more... What is that? One more Natsuki poem. And then we unlock this one, because then we have all Natsuki's poems. And then, yeah, these are just the other side stories, so that's easy. That's everything that we have already. This is also in side stories. And I'm pretty sure that we get this one when we get all the poems. So we know, we just have to work our way through and then we unlock everything. And then the music is also being unlocked in the meantime, so... We should get to 100. Oh yeah, there's also, by the way, there's an achievement. Where is that? 221? Yeah, there's an achievement if you it's called Stonks. You need to open this thing. You can't. You see, unknown error. You can only open this when it is 2:20. It doesn't matter if it's AM or PM, but it needs to be 2:20, and only then can you open this, and then you get the achievement. But it's a hidden achievement. But yeah, it doesn't matter if it's AM or PM, it just needs to be 2:20 here, and then you can open it, and then you get the achievement. And this has the same time as the time on your computer, but if you change the time on your computer to the appropriate time, I've heard that people start to lose their progress, so don't do that. Actually wait until it's 2:20 AM or 2:20 PM where you are, and then open it. Because again, I've heard people say that when they manually change the time that they lost a lot of progress. So maybe that's something that is into the game, or maybe it was just a coincidence, I don't know, but yeah, just a heads up. Don't manually change the time on your PC to achieve that. But yeah, that's how you get that achievement. And then, yeah, as I said, everything else is just doing the side stories, then we have everything. Okay, anyway, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next up is Respect with Natsuki. So we'll see what happens there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you like the crying, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.